Сега искам да дам думата на Сюр Ларсен. Той е директор на секцията, която за Източна Европа и за ЕЕА Grants във външното министерство на Кралство Норвегия.
The Deputy Minister, and if I could be as bold as to say, dear friends, I'm very happy to be here today to take part of the launch of the Active Citizens Fund in Bulgaria. Not only because this is the 7th program we are launching in Bulgaria, but also because it's the first of the Active Citizens Fund. That is something to be proud of. The first of 15. You know that with the EEA and other grants, we support many activities in 15 different countries, and support to civil society is of utmost importance to the donors. You are the first, and as was said by previous speakers as well, that gives you another advantage. You will have the longest possible implementation time. I would also like to do as the Deputy Prime Minister, to start with thanks to the fund operator and to the Bulgarian government, to the FMO and to all the stakeholders for your efforts, all the work that you have put down, from the negotiations, through the stakeholder conferences and through the design of the program. Without you and all the hard work that you have put in, we would not have been here today. Ladies and gentlemen, all European states have acknowledged that civil society sector is a fundamental building block in an open and democratic society. Civil society, non-governmental organizations, or as the Deputy Minister also said, the third sector, has definitely a crucial role to play. In our view, it's not possible to develop and maintain a resilient and pluralistic democracy unless the voices from a wide spectrum of society is heard and their interest taken into consultation and consideration in government processes. As the Deputy Minister said, civil society is both a partner for the government as well as a watchdog. NGOs that are an independent force are in a unique position to promote ideas, values, and also accountability from the government. When we as Norway, through the EEA Grants, promote civil society all across Europe, we are building on our own experience. The role of civil society in Norway as a watchdog, as a consultative body, and in engaging citizens has been and continues to be of great importance for our society. NGO involvement and engagement help us reach good compromise, find good solutions, and focus on the common good for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, for decades we have assumed that when democracy is established or has arrived, it is here to stay. However, if you look at history and if you look at experiences, some of them fairly recent, democratization is not a linear process. Even countries that have solid democracies may slip back. Likewise, achieving fundamental rights and freedoms is often taken for granted. It is a natural evolution. However, this is not achieved once and for all. They are rights and freedoms that need to be developed and sometimes even defended. Constant nurturing and attention are required in many of these fields. We see civil society in many countries in Central Europe still weak, and we see that many individual organizations are small. This is a challenge both to the sustainability of these organizations and for their ability to voice the views. Strengthening and supporting civil society all across Europe is an indispensable element in Norwegian policy to defend and promote democratic values in Europe. I listened attentively to the Deputy Prime Minister's speech, and I think there were many interesting elements, and I'm sure that many in this audience will try to follow up on them in the weeks and the months to come. I'm very happy to see so many of you here, and I'm happy to hear a Deputy Minister that expresses the wish of the government to support civil society in a concrete manner. And I also heard from him a very open invitation to dialogue as to how this could also be done in the future. This is interesting, and it's something that we will also try to follow in the weeks and the months that come. The EEA Grants is one of the direct ways that we can promote the fundamental European values. So far, Norway, together with the two other donors, Iceland and Liechtenstein, we have committed to providing more than 200 million euros to active citizens funds in the 15 beneficiary countries. This makes Norway one of the largest donors to civil society in the region and reflects our recognition of the role of the NGOs as a fundamental building block in development for democratic, fair, and sustainable societies. As I said earlier on, there will be a strong focus on capacity building with the aim to enable organizations to sustain their activities and to strengthen their competences so that they can become competent partners. Lots of this work takes time. We have been funding civil society in Bulgaria for many years. Now we are here to launch a new period of funding so that this can continue and helping you to take up the important role in society. In addition, we put strong emphasis on projects relevant to democracy and human rights and support to youth inclusion. We are all convinced that we will gain from close cooperation and exchange of skills and knowledge. That's why separate funds have been set aside for bilateral and for regional cooperation. I hope many of you already have established networks and partners in Norway, that you have somebody to call and somebody that you know, that you can develop existing networks. And if not, you will hear later today that the Norwegian Helsinki Committee has a very important role in being a contact point to help find partners and interested interlocutors, not only in Norway, that's where the Helsinki Committee works, but remember there are also interesting partners in the other donor countries. Real strengthening of civil society across Europe has to be developed from within, based on citizens' engagement and needs. It was said that 80% of Norwegians are active in some kind of an NGO, and I was thinking, what about myself? And I think that for many Norwegians, this is so part of our everyday life that we don't consider it a big deal. We're members maybe of one or several sports associations. And myself, I recently joined an association that tries to help youth when they're out too late in the evenings. Something that probably never happens in Bulgaria, but in places in Norway this is a challenge. Furthermore, to ensure that the active citizens funds serve the needs in the countries and are truly support to civil societies, they are always operated by local fund operators, consortia, that are independent of national, regional and local authorities. This is of utmost importance to the donors and something that we emphasize in all negotiations. Not equally easy in all countries, I won't mention which. But this is also why it is important for us to have the stakeholder consultations, where hopefully many of you were present, bringing together interested voices, providing guidance also to the fund operators. Based on previous experience, we are confident that the fund operator here, Open Society Foundation, together with its partner in the consortium, will manage this very well. I personally believe this is an advantage. You have a fund operator that knows the system, has done this before, and knows how to not only speak to us, but also to make the projects work. We believe that together, the partners for civil society in Bulgaria will be further strengthened. In a few years, we hope to see the rights for vulnerable groups further secured and improved. We hope to see more people, especially youth, to have greater knowledge and experience with democratic processes. We hope to see more advocacy work in practice. And we hope to see also Roma people benefiting from the exchange for health professionals. But most importantly and overarching is the fact that we would like to see more people engaged. The interesting percentages, the opinion poll that was presented in the beginning of today must be a source of inspiration. There are still many Bulgarians that can be made to become active citizens. We rely on you to do an effort to ensure this. Finally, I would like to leave you with this thought. Our grants is a fertilizer to strengthen civil society and active citizens to empower vulnerable groups. This is the fertilizer, but to make this flourish, that is your work. I wish you good luck, and we look forward to learning about the implementation of the program. Thank you very much for your attention.